officials and the players using the opportunity of that wicket to have a drinks break. A drinks break was due at the end of the over anyway. Well deserved drinks break as well, because it is a hot day here in Sharjah. And Richie Berrington taking the opportunity to get some fluids inside him as well. An excellent half century for him, his fourth in one-day international cricket. And he's been joined now by Preston Mommsen. Not a massive crowd here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium today, but still a crowd that are doing their best to make themselves heard. Why not? They've seen some very interesting cricket in this match thus far. Afghanistan winning the toss, opting to bowl first, which surprised a few of us, given that the expectation was that the surface would probably get slower as the day went on, but Afghanistan obviously opted to chase. They chased down 256 against the Netherlands on this ground previously in this competition, so they're confident in that regard. Drinks break coming towards an end. Preston Mommsen is the new batsman. Preston Mommsen, 25 years of age, originally from South Africa. I expect we'll see him a little bit later on bowling his flattish off spin. Bats in the middle order these days, although his highest score in one-day internationals, indeed his only 50 at this level, came as an opening batsman against Ireland in the Netherlands in the final of the ICC World Cricket League Division 1. That was 3 years ago, but now he's used a little bit more as a sort of finisher, if you like, in this middle order. Scores in this tournament: 34 against the Netherlands, 20 against Ireland, 8 against Sri Lanka, which wasn't in this tournament of course, and 5 against Canada. They're his last 4 scores in one-day internationals. Averages 19 with the bat, and now he's facing Dawlat Zadran. And that just suggests that shaping back into the right-hander, but well played by Mommsen, and the end of the over, a successful over for Dawlat Zadran. 15 overs to go, 133 for 3 is the Scotland score. Richie Berrington on 51, Preston Mommsen, the new batsman, yet to get off the mark, just having faced that one ball. 3 batsmen to have been dismissed thus far: Carl Kutzer for 23, Callum MacLeod for 9, and in that last over, Matt Machin caught behind by Mohamed Shahzad of Dawlat Zadran, his second wicket, and he fell for 44. Here is the scoreboard thus far. Preston Mommsen yet to get off the mark. Overs to go. So it's a fascinating stage of this match. Richie Berrington well established. And here's Hamid Hassan. Down the leg side, there's a stifled appeal for a catch, and in fact he's given it out. Umpire Paliagurige, it seemed a little bit of an afterthought, perhaps even an appeal to dispel the umpire's thoughts about giving a wide, but he had to think about it, the umpire. And up went the finger, a good low catch by Mohamed Shahzad. And so 2 wickets have gone in successive overs. Berrington absolutely furious with himself, smashing his pad with his bat. Let's have another look at it. And I'm delighted to say that Craig Wright, the former Scotland captain, has joined us in the commentary position. And Craig, thanks very much for joining us. Your thoughts there, not only on that dismissal, but also on the innings of Richie Berrington.
Well, he's played really well, and I think he's obviously furious with the decision. I think more than anything else there, it looked like, to my eyes, it certainly came off his thigh pad. But yeah, I think that's an unfortunate couple of overs there, with Scotland taking a pretty proactive and positive move, taking the power play early. Richie and Matt Machin obviously putting together a very effective partnership there, but those two wickets will just have set the innings back slightly.
Absolutely. Two batsmen now at the crease, who between them have faced just one delivery. That really is a problem. Muneeb Iqbal is the new batsman into this match with a little bit of an injury cloud. A couple of days ago in the 2020 International, he had to leave the field with a little bit of a niggle in the groin, but his spin bowling as well as his batting is going to be very important for Scotland. They were keen to get him into the side. He had a bit of a fitness test this morning and was passed fit to play. But Hamid Hassan and Dawlat Zadran, they've done the trick for their side. 2 wickets in the space of a handful of deliveries. And now Scotland just on the back foot a little bit after that excellent partnership between Machin and Berrington, which was worth 99 for the 3rd wicket. Hamid Hassan bowls to the new batsman, Iqbal, and he plays the ball up on the onside. No run. 133 for 4. Craig Wright, the former captain of Scotland, with us in the commentary position. Craig, thanks very much for joining us, and perhaps you could start off by just telling us what you're up to these days. Now you're no longer charging in from the top end.
I don't know if I was ever charging in, but I'm in charge of our performance development programme now. So the under-19 flick down the leg side there from Muneeb. Goes for 4. So yeah, I'm in charge of our performance development programme, so everything from our under-15 regional programmes right up to the national under-19 programme. So, you know, obviously hoping to push a few players through to the national team. We've been quite good success over the last few years, getting players that are coming out of the under-19s into the national side. Obviously with the change of eligibility rules, that will be slightly more difficult. But hopefully, you know, we'll be able to raise the standards so some of the youngsters are still getting a chance at national team level.
Slower ball from Hamid Hassan. That's called a wide. Previous delivery had just shown signs of tailing into the right hand, a little bit of reverse swing. I'm glad you mentioned the eligibility criteria, Craig. I was almost frightened to mention it to you, given your role, but of course it's had quite a dramatic effect on the selection of the Scottish side, particularly for this tour over the last 6 months. Of course, a host of new players have suddenly become eligible for Scotland. How has that been received by the rank and file in Scotland?
Well, I think as expected, it's had a mixed reception. I think most people who would comment rationally on it can see both sides of the argument. You know, it brings us into line with all the other teams that we're playing against. And it allows players who have Scottish parents to play for Scotland the same way that people with passports in other countries can play for them. So, you know, I think there's obviously the positive aspect to it, but obviously it makes it more difficult for the young players coming through our programme in Scotland. It brings more competition for places, which again is probably a good thing. But then you'll have people just seeing it as a complete negative, and people who are not involved in the Scottish scene playing for Scotland and a less recognisable lineup. But I think if you're looking at it, objectively, there's more positives than negatives to it.
Yes, it's a difficult juggling act that the Scotland selectors have got now. Fine leg up in the circle. Hamid Hassan bowls again, little cutter, and no run on that occasion. The end of the over, and a successful over for Hamid Hassan. At the end of that over, it's 140 for 4, 14 overs remaining, with Muneeb Iqbal and Preston Momsen, the two batsmen at the crease. 2 wickets going down in the last 2 overs. Richie Berrington for 51 in that last over, caught down the leg side by Mohammad Shahzad off Hamid Hassan. And the over prior to that, Matt Machin caught by Mohammad Shahzad, driving and hitting the ground at the same time, it appeared, caught behind off the bowling of Dawlat Zadran, his second wicket. Machin making 44. The other batsman to be dismissed thus far, Carl Kurtzer, for 23, and Callum MacLeod for 9. So 14 overs remaining, 140 for 4, but 2 new batsmen at the crease. Craig Wright, the former Scotland captain, with us in the commentary position. There's confirmation of what we've had so far and what we've got to come. And looking at the batting still to come, David Murphy, a county player, the wicket-keeper, plays county cricket for Northamptonshire. Majid Haq, we know he's capable of wielding the willow. Ian Wardlaw, another player who's come into the lineup from Yorkshire. Gordon Drummond and Safayan Sharif. What sort of total do you think is realistic, Craig, with 14 overs and 6 wickets in hand?
Well, I think one of the strengths of this team is that they do bat all the way down. I think there's players all the way down. I haven't seen too much of Ian Wardlaw, but certainly right down to Majid and Gordon Drummond. There's some guys who can make effective contributions, but I think from Scotland's point of view, they would certainly have wanted one of Berrington or Machin there to be still in at the other side of the power play, just to kick on. I think it's obviously set the Scots back a little bit, having 2 new batters at the crease, but hopefully Iqbal, I think, showed some good form with the bat in the T20s, and Momsen's a dangerous player, so hopefully we can just start building another partnership here.
Gulbuddin Naib is into the attack, replacing Dawlat Zadran at that far end, the Sharjah club end of this ground. He bowled tidily early on, got a wicket actually with his first ball, 5 overs 1 for 14 in his opening spell. Dismissed Callum MacLeod, caught by Mohammed Nabi, short extra cover. MacLeod falling for 9, and he's developing his bowling. Gulbuddin Naib, originally a batsman, now has turned himself into a very presentable all-rounder. And were you intrigued, Craig, this morning by Afghanistan's decision to bowl first? It was certainly a decision that surprised a few people that I've spoken to.
Well, my experience of Sharjah is that it's not a particularly easy place to chase, because the wicket is quite slow, tends to get a little bit lower, and if anything spins a little bit later in the day. There's another wicket.
Driving to extra cover. I think that's the captain. Indeed it is. Mohammed Nabi taking the catch. So another wicket goes down. And Scotland losing 3 wickets now in quick succession.
Yeah, and I was going to sort of finish off my answer to your question there in terms of the score from this position. I was thinking maybe with 14 overs to go we would look to get another 90 or 100. I think that wicket is obviously another setback for the Scots. So and just with the wicket, as I was saying, being quite slow and low, probably quite difficult to hit boundaries. So I think the Scots will be looking to just keep taking singles, run hard, get 2s and 3s, and hopefully if they can score somewhere approaching a run a ball here. The last 13-14 overs with the batting to come, they'll get a competitive score.
Preston Momsen, the batsman, dismissed there. And that brings David Murphy on his one-day international debut out to the middle. So there'll be some nerves there, bound to be, stepping onto the big stage for the first time. 23 years of age, David Murphy, actually born in Welwyn Garden City in Hertfordshire. Played in the 2020 internationals that took place on Sunday and Monday on this ground. Made 6 not out and 4 not out in those 2 encounters. He's actually played 33 first-class matches in total, just over 1,000 first-class runs at an average just shy of 30. So he knows which end of the bat to hold. And confidently driving his first ball to cover.
I think this is another good example of how the batting power play can actually work in the bowling team's favour. As I said before, Scotland took a pretty positive stance there, taking it 2 or 3 overs early, as quite often happens. You see two or 3 wickets going down, and as I said, Scotland on the back foot, needing to rebuild now.
Yes, it caught me a little bit by surprise actually when they took it.
Well, I think that the thinking behind it would have been that obviously Berrington and Machin were set. They both had 40 or 50 each, and the worst thing that can happen is you wait till the 36th over and then you lose a wicket in the 34th or 35th. Then you've got new batsmen, in when the power play starts, so you don't actually manage to capitalise on it. So I think it was sound thinking from the Scots actually taking it when they had 2 set batsmen in, but obviously unfortunately on this occasion it hasn't quite worked for them.
Absolutely, 3 wickets now in successive overs, 141 for 5, and Scotland back on their heels just a little bit. Eve Iqbal and David Murphy, the batsman at the crease now. Craig Wright, the former Scotland captain, is with us in the commentary position, now playing a very prominent role in development. And Craig, perhaps you could just offer a little bit of guidance to us in terms of what sort of numbers you're seeing coming through the programme now, and do you see an incremental rise in the number of youngsters who are taking up cricket in Scotland?
Well, I think the clubs do a fantastic or play a fantastic part in that. A lot of the clubs really are shifting their focus now to what we call whole club development, and they're employing coaches where in the past they would have been employing professionals to make sure the first 11 were strong. I think now they're employing coaches and looking at school programs and bringing more players into the club to hopefully sustain the club long term. So hopefully in the years to come that will result in greater numbers and greater quality of players coming into the sort of the lower end of the performance programme which I'm responsible for. But we've tried to develop the opportunities that are better 14, 15 to 19-year-olds are getting, and as I said before, hopefully we're seeing some of the fruits of that with more players getting into county academies, and quite a few of the lads have managed to break through into the national team over the last few years. But like I said before, they're obviously going to have to raise their standards even further to make it in now with the increased competition that we have with the changed eligibility rules.
A little bit of reverse swing there for Hamid Hassan. He appealed for LBW. Umpire Paliaguri again, not interested, feeling it was more bat than boot or pad. Of course, one of the problems you had last summer, Craig, was the dreadful summer. I mean, the weather was absolutely horrendous, and that's always going to be a disincentive for people to get involved in cricket, I guess. But on the other side of the coin, during the winter here, the Scotland side have been able to spend a fair amount of time abroad, I think, haven't you?
Well, I think it's a crucial thing, the weather actually, because the players, the young players, even young players in clubs at 10, 11, 12, every day or every opportunity they miss because of the weather is an opportunity that they don't get back. And that's very unfortunate, especially when we have a summer like we did last year, because there's a lot of young players missing out on an awful lot of opportunity, which they won't get back in terms of that chance to practice or play, wherever it might be. So, it's one thing we really are trying to develop is the overseas opportunities, and taking young players as well as the national team to train and play overseas, where you obviously get a good level of competition and better weather. That looks close.
Big shout, not out, says umpire Paliaguri. Again, a little bit of reverse swing for Hamid Hassan into the right-handed batsman, Murphy on that occasion, and umpire Paliaguri again just deciding that was going to slide down past leg stump.
It's always the danger this time of the innings when the bowlers are looking to target the stumps with a low bounce as well, and they just look like played slightly across it there. Got the benefit of the doubt though. Bit of a reverse swing coming in there as well by the looks of it. Hassan obviously a very proficient reverse swing bowler, very dangerous, possibly even more dangerous with the older ball than is with the new ball.
Coming back to that rotten weather in the northern hemisphere over the past summer, I suppose on the other side of the coin you did get the opportunity to take the under-19s away to the under-19 World Cup, which was in northern Australia, so that would have been a fantastic learning curve for them. I know there's none of those players actually here with us now, but how many of them are on the cusp, if you like, of the international scene?
Well, I mean, that experience just emphasised the importance of being involved in things like that, in conditions like that, playing against opposition like that, because the development that you see in the players over 3-4 weeks. It was incredible. And there's a good core of that team who have got a real chance of being real good players, hopefully for Scotland in the future. Freddie Coleman, who's been signed by Warwickshire, Matthew Cross on the books at Notts, Gavin Main, a young seam bowler at Durham. And quite a few of the others are on programmes in MCC universities. So we've got high hopes for a few of them, and like I say, hopefully they'll keep working hard to try and push some of these boys that we're seeing out here today, push them hard for the places in the national team over the next few years.
And of course we've heard a lot of headlines about what Ireland are doing at the moment in terms of trying to get some sort of first-class structure in place. They're really looking to develop and recruit coaches and support staff for their 3 provincial regions that they're looking to get in place, and they've already outlined their desire to try and get test status if they can, or full member status by 2020. 2 runs there to Monib Iqbal, steering the ball down to third man, takes the score up to 144 for 5 in the 39th over. Where are things going in terms of the domestic structure with Scotland, Craig?
Well, we've had a regional competition along the lines of what Ireland have just announced the last 2 or 3 years, but I think there is plans now to expand that into a European competition with the 2 or 3 Scottish regions against playing against the Irish regions and the Dutch region into sort of European league, which obviously would be a fantastic development. And I think things like that are massively important in terms of the opportunity for players just below the national setup, because I think there's more and more good cricket being played for these lads at international level. But the important thing is that for the next cabs off the rank, if you like, or the developing players, they get the chance to keep improving their skills and show what they can do at a good level, so that it's not too much of a shock when they make the step up to national team level.
Big Bell just edging that one down to third man. Stanik Zai, the fielder on that occasion. Strike being rotated takes Monib Iqbal up to 9. A total 145 for 5. We're in the 39th over. David Murphy still yet to get off the mark, making his one-day international debut. Yeah, that would be a very exciting innovation if some sort of Super League was able to be put in place involving the Dutch, the Scots, the Irish. As a slip goes in, Noura's Mangle in a sort of floating slip position now. 145 for 5, but of course all this costs money, Craig, and I guess there's no finite, there's no infinite pot of money. How's it all going to be financed?
Well, the ICC have already made a commitment to these countries, to the European high-performance countries, with the TAP funding, the increased TAP funding, and I think there's got to be some commitment from the countries themselves to raise commercial revenue and sustain these structures. So it's probably a 2 or 3 pronged approach between ICC funding, local commercial funding, and possibly some government funding within these countries for cricket.
In terms of that Super League, if it was to get off the ground, I call it a Super League, but obviously that's just my terminology. But if it were to get off the ground, when potentially might that happen?
I think the plans are to hopefully have something up and running over the next couple of years. Like I say, our competition's been running internally for the last 2 or 3 years. Ireland obviously developing their competition this year. I'm not 100% sure what the Dutch position is, but I think certainly in terms of the 3-country setup, I think there is hopes that will be happening within the next couple of seasons.
Change of bowling at this pavilion end. It's going to be Hamza Hotak, who's going to come back into the attack, the left arm spinner. Bowled pretty tidily early on, although he did drop Richie Berrington on 40, a caught and bowled chance. 7 overs for 26, the left arm spinner. His initial spell was from the far end, the Sharjah club end, so he's now going to be bowling from our commentary position end, and he's going to be bowling to Murphy, just got off the mark in that last over. He's on a single. Monib Iqbal on 9, 11 overs to go. Murphy goes back and punches this out to deep point. He picks up a single.
Yeah, I thought when he put down that cotton ball chance off Richie Berrington that it was going to be costly for the Afghans, but obviously, unfortunately, Richie's been given out caught down the leg side, because he is someone who has got the ability to go on and make big scores.
Yes, These two batsmen now just needing to regroup a little bit for Scotland. It's nicely tossed up by Hamza Hotak. Fields on the matting which covers the 4-day pitch. And these two sides are going to be doing battle on in a few days' time in the ICC Intercontinental Cup. This, of course, Craig, is a venue that'll have happy memories for Scotland in terms of that particular tournament, because Scotland won the inaugural ICC Intercontinental Cup here against Canada. But I hate to say it, it's 9 years ago now. It makes us all feel very old. Do you remember that?
I do remember it well, and that was obviously a special couple of days. We had some difficult days here as well, playing on some of the flattest surfaces I've ever experienced in my career. But you know, it's always great to experience different conditions, and you know, in terms of that's outside the line, I would hope. Yeah. But yeah, it's always great to experience different conditions, and the challenge of playing on surfaces like this, obviously in this sort of weather, is a little bit different to back home, and really test the players' skills.
Yes, it certainly has warmed up over the last few days here. So Hotak bowls once again. I think you guys have been here now since about the 21st, 20th of February. So you've been here for a couple of weeks now. How have things gone from a preparation point of view? Obviously, you lost the two 2020 internationals that were played on Sunday and Monday. Just to recap, incidentally, in case you've just joined us, 147 for 5 is the score. 10 overs to go in the Scotland innings. They were put into bat with Moneeb Iqbal on 9 and David Murphy on 2, and with us in the commentary position, former Scotland captain, now part of the administration for Cricket Scotland, part of the development of the game in the country, Craig Wright.
Yeah, well, I've only just arrived myself. Only just got here last night. I'm here for some meetings, but so I haven't seen the other games. But obviously, you know, the lads had 2 or 3 practice matches. What's happened there? He's not out. Trying to dupe the umpire there. I think the keeper in first slip. But yeah, so they played 3 warm-up games, I think, and got some time in the middle, and the bowlers got some overs under their belt, and then obviously had a couple of challenging T20s against the Afghanis in Sharjah over the last few days, which didn't quite go our way. But these 2 ODIs are obviously the key fixtures of the trip. Great shot that.
Whipped away on the onside by Murphy into the gap, and again a misfield. There's been too many of them from an Afghan perspective. The man there committing that particular sin in the field, Mahibullah, one of the debutantes, out at deep mid-wicket. So 2 runs to Murphy. That takes the score up to 149 for 5. Murphy now on 4. Moneeb Iqbal on 9. And Gulbuddin Naib continuing from that far end, the Sharjah club end of the ground. Still 6 fielders inside the circle. He just finds the outside edge of Murphy's bat there, thickish outside edge, getting the ball out to cover where Nabi fields.
Yeah, you can see the experience of the Afghanis in these conditions. Just getting that ball to reverse swing out, I think there with Hassan reverse swinging it in, so they're keeping the batsman guessing, which makes it very difficult with the lack of pace in the pitch.
Lofted out towards deep square leg, it's in the air, and a comfortable catch in the end. So the pressure tells, the wicket secured, and the man who misfielded a short while ago, Mahibullah, out there at deep square leg, in the end took a very comfortable catch, and David Murphy's first one-day international innings comes to an end. He walks off looking at the bottom of his bat, feeling perhaps he didn't time it as he would have wanted. In the end it was a very straightforward catch, and it takes the score now to 149 for 6. Here is the dismissal.
Yeah, I think he was looking to hit it a little bit straighter than that, because mid-on's up, and it probably just shows you the value of what you were mentioning there before with them keeping men inside the circle. It's made Murphy go for the hit over the top, and he's just hit it a little bit squarer, I think, than he intended, and picked out deep square leg.
Still looking at the bottom of his bat. Off goes David Murphy, gone for 4 then. 149 for 6 in the 41st over, and well, all of a sudden the wheels falling off just a little bit as far as Scotland are concerned. The new batsman making his way in now, Majid Haq. We know he's capable of striking a decent ball at the back end of an innings, and his perspective, perhaps he's coming in just a little bit earlier than he would have liked to play that sort of role, because it's an awkward situation now, isn't it, Craig? Because with 4 wickets in hand, these two batsmen at the crease will know that they need to push the score on, but they can't really afford to take too many chances.
Well, yeah, I think they've got themselves in a difficult situation now, Scotland, because there is still a lot of balls to go. There's still 60 balls to go or thereabouts. But I think just with the stutter we've had in the last 5 to 7 overs, it means that even if we score it, run a ball now for the last 10 overs, it's still only going to get us to around about 110, which probably wouldn't expect to be a winning score on here. So we're caught between a little bit of a rock and a hard place here in terms of how we go about it. And I think that was maybe indicated by the shot that Murphy just played.
Batsman crossed there, so cross again now with another misfield, and that's very sloppy once again from Afghanistan. Their fielding hasn't been the best today. That brings up the 150 for Scotland, 150 for 6.
It is one area that I expect the Scots to be superior to the Afghans today is the fielding, particularly the ground fielding. I think it's well into double figures the number of runs that Afghanistan have given the Scots here with overthrows and misfields. So 150 for 6 could be 135 for 6 if they just field a little bit better.
Absolutely. Left-handed Majid Haq then taking guard. Gets ready to face Gulbadine Naib. And looks to work across what seemed to be a fairly straight ball. And that is something that the umpire at that far end, Sarika Prasad, agrees with. It was a straight ball. Majid Haq playing all around it, and he's trapped LBW, gone first ball for a duck. And Scotland now, who were at one stage 133 for 2, now 150 for 7.
Yeah, probably fair enough. That I think just swung back, and it just shows again what I was mentioning before, the benefit of bowlers being able to actually move the ball off the straight. Even on flat pitches, move it in the air rather than off the pitch, and that ball did look like it just straightened down the line and probably would have hit middle and leg stump.
Yeah, the only question really was whether it pitched in line with the stumps or whether it pitched outside leg stump, as Craig Wright said. He's with us in the commentary position, the former Scotland captain. Just looking at that replay, there didn't seem too many doubts about any of the criteria. So now Scotland in some difficulty. They were 133 for 2, remember, when Matt Machin was dismissed in the 35th over. Now they are 150 for 7, and while the captain comes to the crease, they certainly need a captain's innings here, do the Scots. Gordon Drummond making his way out to the middle. Very capable player, averages 23 in one-day internationals in 26 matches. Certainly, I've seen him in the past strike a pretty decent ball. I remember innings he played at the back end of a one-day international against the Netherlands in Amstelveen in the World Cricket League Division 1 3 years ago. He made 33 not out on that occasion. His highest score in one-day internationals is 35 not out, and that's actually come against Afghanistan. That was in air 3 years ago. He's not on strike now. He's at the non-striker's end. It's Muneeb Iqbal who's on strike to Hamza Hotak. But as you were saying, Craig, at least there is some depth here in the Scottish batting, some opportunity to rectify what's gone wrong here.
Yeah, there is, and it's going to be tested now. But I think Gordon, is a very capable batsman, scores runs in club cricket, and perhaps actually has on occasion batted a place or too low in the Scotland team. But it's one of the things that happens when you do have a lot of all-rounders. But he is capable of getting 30, 35 here and getting Scotland up to a competitive total, without doubt.
So I remember seeing him in the final of that World Cricket League Division 1 as well. He made 30 against Ireland in that final. When Scotland had had another little bit of a middle order wobble, he came in, played some shots, got the side up to a decent score. It wasn't enough in the end. Ireland won the trophy on that occasion, but he gets off the mark there. First ball, punching the ball down to long off where Hamid Hassan fields. 152 for 7. We're in the 42nd over. That's beautifully tossed up by Hamza Hotak, almost daring the batsman to go down the ground. Muneeb Iqbal interested on that occasion. He's on 11. So Hotak in again. A little bit of hesitation over the single to cover. It's not there in the end.
And he is a player who thrives on pressure situations, and there's no doubt with Scotland losing those 5 quick wickets, this is a pressure situation now, and this is a good opportunity for him to make a real impact on this game.
It's the end of the over, and it's a very tight over from Hamza Hotak, and almost as importantly, it's an over which he's got through very, very quickly indeed, just to add a little bit of extra pressure as far as the Scotland batsmen are concerned. The 2 batsmen out there now, Gordon Drummond and Munib Iqbal, having a chat in the middle. 152 for 7 with 8 overs to go. What sort of thing would Gordon Drummond be saying to Munib at this stage? What would he be trying to say? Well, look, this is our target, this is the way we're going to play it at this point in time.
Yeah, I would expect so. I would expect them to be talking about remaining quite positive, but taking some low-risk options to try and keep the board ticking over if possible. There's no point just using up balls now. I'm sure they'll be speaking about looking to score, but with low-risk options, just to try and get 5 and 6 and over here if they possibly can, to get up to something above 200.
Yeah, run a ball from this point in time gets Scotland to exactly 200. As Drummond goes over mid-on, only just is good enough, and he'll get 4. Well,
what was I saying about low-risk options?
Yeah, fortune favours the brave there, because he must have had his heart in his mouth there at one point in time. It looked as though it was going to be, I think it was Dowlett Zadran there at mid-on, leaping high in the air, and just for a second it appeared as though he was going to pull that catch in.
Well, I mean, the other option here is, as I said, Gordon's an extremely good ball striker, particularly straight, both mid-on and mid-off are up. And actually a little bit of a counter-attack here might actually not be the worst idea, because it's probably the last thing that Afghanistan will expect.
Yeah, that's good thinking on your part, Craig, to spot that with mid-on and mid-off up in the circle. It's very positive cricket from Afghanistan, in truth, though, isn't it? With 6 fielders inside the ring, it just puts the emphasis back onto the batting side and say, right, over to you.
Well, absolutely. I think what it does do is it doesn't allow Scotland to get easy singles and do what I was probably talking about before, getting 5 and 6 and over, just doing it easy. So they have to take a few risks, as we just saw Gordon taking there.
Punched down the ground, and well, there's an appeal there by Gulbadeen Naib for some sort of obstruction of the field. I don't think there was any danger of that from Gordon Drummond. And Nawaz Mangal, the former captain, coming up to just pour cold water on the situation and have a bit of a laugh and a joke with the umpire at square leg. What happened there? Gulbadeen Naib trying to throw out to Gordon Drummond just in case Drummond had strayed out of his crease, and didn't appear to me as though he had, and the ball just inadvertently hit the back. But all's well that ends well. Gulbadeen Naib on his way once more, running towards us. Bowls, and it's flogged just backward of square, slightly in the air from Drummond, but he'll pick up 4 more, and he is setting his stall out here to be aggressive, and he's getting the rewards for doing so.
Yep, so they've obviously decided to go the counter-attack route, which is, as I said, is not a bad idea at all, because Gordon is someone who's capable of smacking a quick 20 or 30 here, just to change the momentum a little bit of this innings, because Scotland had it and then lost it quite dramatically, and need to do something here just to get themselves moving back in a positive direction.
Well, it certainly is positive from their point of view. They forced one of those fielders out of the circle now, from cover to deep cover. So that's good cricket. Also, slip that was in position has come to short mid-wicket, so only 5 fielders inside the circle now. We've got backward point, cover and mid-off. On the onside we've got a mid-on and a mid-wicket. Outside the circle, deep square leg, long leg, third man, and also that deep cover fielder in position. His long leg is brought into action. Hamid Hassan, single for Gordon Drummond, the end of the over, and a very profitable over from a Scotland perspective. Gordon Drummond very quickly into double figures, onto 10, Munib Iqbal onto 11, and with 7 overs remaining, it's 161 for 7. Just to recap, in case you're joining us here on our coverage of the Pepsi ICC World Cricket League Championship here at the Sharjah Cricket Stadium. The batsmen out for Scotland so far after they were put into bat: Carl Kutzer 23, Callum MacLeod 9, Matt Machin 44, Richie Berrington 51, Preston Mompson 1, David Murphy 4, and Majid Haq first ball duck. So the change is being rung as well now by Mohamed Nabi. He's bringing himself back on. There's confirmation of the wickets that have gone down thus far, with Ian Wardlaw still to come. Punch down towards long off. But this is another interesting tactic that seems to have come in from 2020, Craig. The way that in the old days you'd have a couple of death bowlers and they'd bowl their 3 or 4 overs off the reel together. Now all of a sudden it seems very much in vogue at the back end of an innings to switch the bowlers around, just almost 1 over spells.
Yeah, I think it's just really to stop the batsman getting set, because there's obviously a real element of premeditation now with the batsman in terms of which areas he's going to try and hit particular bowlers. So obviously if you're switching the bowlers around every over, every couple of overs, they don't quite get that opportunity. Another misfield there. They don't quite get that opportunity to set themselves and line up a particular bowler to target a specific area of the field. But certainly Nabi's one of the Afghans' most effective bowlers, especially in these conditions, just sort of skidding it through, bowling stump to stump, not giving the batsman any width to work with.
Punch down the ground, and as we said, I suppose the minimum requirement as far as Scotland are concerned at this point in time is a runner ball for the remainder of the innings.
Yeah, I think so. We've just got to scrape together something that might give us half a chance. I think if we took a couple of early wickets, and we can get 210, 215, maybe 220 if we play really well, and then nip out a couple early, then it just puts the Afghans under a little bit of pressure. And the way that they play, they'll give Scotland chances, I'm sure. If we can take our catches, then it gives us half a chance.
And of course, Afghanistan very much under pressure because, given the situation they're in the ICC World Cricket League Championship table, lying down in 5th place, every game is virtually a must-win game for them. It's the end of another over, and with the spinners on, they're rattling through them. Afghanistan 164 for 7. Both these batsmen, Drummond and Iqbal, 12 not out apiece. 6 overs remaining, and I guess that pressure element, Craig, whether they like it or not, that will come into the Afghans' mind, the fact that they are win or bust, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, reasonably, I think they're slightly unorthodox the way that they play. They're pretty aggressive, so I'm not sure that the type of batsmen who worry about run rate and that type of thing. They've got their method, they know how they want to play, and they'll come out and play that way. Like I say, pretty aggressive, looking to hit boundaries, and as I say, the way that they play, particularly the guys at the top of the order, if Scotland bowl well and hold their chances early on, if we can get to 10 and nip a couple out early, then they'll keep playing like that, and hopefully we'll be able to capitalise on that.
And of course, it's a used pitch. This is the surface that was used for both 2020 internationals. Even in those games, we saw a couple of the Scotland batsmen on Monday night caught and bowled with the ball not coming onto the bat. So Dawlat Zadran comes back into the attack, and he's carved away by Drummond to backward point. So pace off the ball might be key as well later on.
Yeah, I think so. I think it looks like the sort of wicket that is probably going to be easier to play when the ball's harder. So again, that'll probably reiterate what I'm saying in terms of Afghanistan coming out and being really pretty aggressive against the Scotland seamers to try and get themselves away to a bit of a flyer. And I see, certainly saw in the T20 game, Scotland bowled a lot of their spin options in those matches, and I'm sure they'll do the same again today.
Slower ball to full toss, clobbered out towards deep mid-wicket, and a good bit of work out there on the boundary by Mohibullah. I think he's managed to keep it in. We haven't got a third umpire here to just have a look. It was a line ball decision, and he says he made it okay, and the umpire at square leg, Dalioguri again, happy to take his word for it. It's still 2 runs to Gordon Drummond, continuing with that aggressive approach. He's on to 14, 166 for 7 in the 45th over. As once again, Dawlat Zadran bowls, clobbered to extra cover, doesn't really time it. Scotland captain, fielded by Gulbadine Naib. Would there be a thought, possibly, Craig, of, as you say, with the new ball coming onto the bat, perhaps the best time to bat, even a thought of someone like Marchid Haque opening the bowling, maybe?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely, and I think, I'm not sure it would be imagined. I think perhaps Matt Machin might be the option, but certainly an option, probably a gamble. I think he's hit that. Yeah. I think it would be a gamble, because I don't expect the Afghans to just pat it back. But certainly in these conditions, it might be a good option to take. Like I say, I think the Afghans would go pretty hard against it if it was spin, but I think they'll go pretty hard whether it's spin or seam, to be honest.
Well, the likelihood is, I gather, that Mohammed Shahzad is going to open the batting with the former captain Noraz Mangal, and we know Mohammed Shahzad certainly has never died wondering, that's for sure. Whenever he's at the crease, in fact, whenever he's on the field, it's entertainment. This ball's worked out towards deep backward square leg. They've run one, that's all they'll get. Good work from Mohibullah out there, the debutant, coming in from deep backward square leg. So on the other side of the coin, it could actually be a positive, because the batsman's eyes light up, and as you mentioned earlier, with fielders inside the circle, it can almost force the error.
Yeah, well, I think that's what I was saying. I don't think it matters really to the Afghans whether they're chasing 200 or 300. I think they'll still approach it in the same fashion. But it does mean, the way that they do play, that they could be, they could quite easily be 20 for 3. Like I say, if Scotland bowl well and hold their chances, but by the same token, they could be 50 for none. So off 4 or 5 overs. But Shahzad's certainly a danger man, especially in these conditions where the sort of quicker bowlers, there's no pace in the pitch for the quicker bowlers really to get it up in and around his sort of rib cage, which he maybe struggles a little bit more with than the ball that's not bouncing above stump high, such as it will be in these sort of conditions here.
And that's obviously, presumably, the reason why someone like Gordon Gowdy missed out today. Disappointment not to see him, but at the same time, it's a horses for courses selection, I guess.
Yeah, I would say so. Scotland have obviously got a couple of guys with a little bit of pace, Wardlaw and Sharif, who can bowl a heavy ball, and attack the sort of rib area and discomfort him. But like I say, just it's nullified slightly, that tactic, by the slowness of the surface.
Mohammed Nabi, 5 overs to go. Drummond goes back and works that ball into the onside, just a single, but this really is good intelligent cricket from Gordon Drummond. He's come in, he's been positive right from the outset, he's played a few shots, and he's just wrested a little bit of the initiative back from Afghanistan towards Scotland. A little bit of turn there for Nabi. He's still got 5 fielders inside the circle though, even at this stage in the 46th over.
Well, with the new fielding regulations, I think that's the stipulation, isn't it? Five inside, so it makes the boundary slightly more accessible at this stage, where otherwise under the old regulations there would only be 4 inside the circle. So it just opens up one more boundary option, which we wouldn't have seen under the old regulations. And in this situation here, there's nobody at deep cover, so that's a position that would have been covered before. So see if Monib can hit it in that direction. It's difficult against that sort of delivery though, but maybe a reverse hit or reverse pull might be the option here.
Yeah, the new regulation came in the first one-day internationals. It was seen in I think it was Sri Lanka against New Zealand last October, November. What do you, as a bowler, I suppose it cuts both ways, doesn't it, Craig? Because you can be hit around, and there's more scope to be hit around because there are more open spaces outside the circle. But on the other side of the coin, as we've discussed, there's possibly this ball's pulled to the edge of the circle.
Yeah, if they were under a little bit of pressure in the middle 10 part of a one-day innings, they'd go 4 in the circle and everyone out, which obviously just means there's an extra boundary sweeper than there is now. So I don't think it'll make as much difference on wickets like this, but I think on wickets with a little bit of pace, where boundaries are slightly easier to manufacture perhaps, I think certainly towards the end of the innings you'll be seeing more and more boundaries. But it does tax the batsman in the middle of the innings just to perhaps take a risk, where under the old regulations they might have just had a few more, or certainly one more single option, whereas now they perhaps just have to take a risk rather than be able to just milk the ball the way they would have done before.
4 overs to go then, 169 for 7. It's going to be Dowlett Zadran to continue from that far end. 8 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 29 for him so far. One of 7 bowlers used by Afghanistan up to this point. Extra bounce there, just inconveniences on Munib Iqbal, shy at the stumps by the bowler, but they're comfortably through for a single, and that surprised the batsman. It surprised me a little bit as well, because as the ball's got a little bit softer, we haven't seen the ball just kick up a little bit like that, but he's a skillful practitioner, is Dowlett Zadran, and he's a little bit quicker than he looks as well.
Yeah, it looks like he just skids on a little bit. Maybe he's holding the ball across the seam now, just to get it to bite into the surface and maybe just lift a little bit more from back of a length there. But really important, 23 balls coming up for Scotland. It's really important that we maximise what we can get off these 23 balls to give us something to bowl at.
That'll be a leg by. Interesting that mid-on was back at the edge of the boundary. We saw Drummond earlier clear mid-on off Gulbadine Nabe, and that was where he was looking to hit the ball once again, or possibly wider of mid-on, but he's made his intentions clear. 7 bowlers used: Hamid Hassan 1 for 31, Shenwari the leg spinner none for 17, Gulbadine Nabe, he's picked up 4 for 30 today, Nabi none for 21, Hamza Hotak none for 30, and Shah on debut, Ramat Shah none for 10 in 3 overs. Good work there by Hamid Hassan, and even as a Scotland man yourself, Craig, you must be pleased to see Hamid Hassan back in action after a lengthy absence with that knee injury he sustained in the ICC Associate and Affiliate 11 match against England back in January 2012. He really is a top quality player at the Associate and Affiliate level, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, and you want the best associate players playing. Maybe it would have been good if he'd come back after these couple of games, but but no, I think it's great to see players at that level in the associate game. Scotland have obviously got the likes of Richie Berrington, who made one of the first, maybe the 4th or 5th 100 in one-day international cricket against Bangladesh, and in T20 cricket, against Bangladesh last year. And I think that the gap is definitely closing in terms of the standard of player that there is in the associate game now.
Slower ball, and it's flogged through cover for 4. It was spotted very early there by Gordon Drummond, who was giving himself some room, and he picked the gap absolutely perfectly. No need to run for that. Drummond moves on to 20, 178 for 7, and again, good aggressive cricket from Gordon Drummond gets its reward.
Yeah, great little counter punch here from the moment he came in. Gordon's looked to be positive and looked to, as I said, change the momentum back in Scotland's direction. And this could be a really important little partnership here in the wash-up of this game.
Certainly could. It's causing a few flutters out there among the Afghan players. Quicker, fuller there. Drummond still giving himself a little bit of room, managing to get the ball up to mid-off, and again a sloppy bit of fielding, backing up by Nowruz Mangal. He wasn't able to stop the ball, but luckily for him, the debutant Moe Bullock was there to tidy up behind him. But it's good news for Scotland at the moment, because Gordon Drummond has pitched the bowling. He's in very good touch. He's 21 not out of a partnership of 29 with Munib Iqbal, who's played his part as well. He's on 17, 179 for 7. He's got 3 overs left to be bowled, and it's been a funny sort of innings for Scotland, really. They lost a couple of early wickets after a deceptively rapid start from Kyle Kurtzer and Callum MacLeod. Then there was a partnership of 99 between Richie Berrington, who made a half-century, and Matt Machin on one-day international debut. They got to 133 for 2 at one stage. The power play was taken. Then they lost wickets in a heat. They slipped to 150 for 7. And now Drummond and Munib Iqbal rallying things from a Scotland perspective and doing their best to give them a total that they will regard as defendable. Well, 48th over to be bowled, and it's going to be Hamid Hassan, the master of reverse swing, coming back into the attack at the tail end of the innings. And no prizes, Craig, for guessing what he's going to be looking to do here. Full and straight.
Yeah, full and straight with a little bit of reverse swing, maybe the odd slower ball. But hopefully if we can have another 3 overs like we've had the last 3, because Safian Sharif coming in can hit the ball hard also. So I'm hopeful we can have a productive 3 overs here to get us up to to pass 200, but it'll be a difficult task against a bowler of this skill.
Lob into extra cover, and it's well fielded by Shinwari. He thought about a single, but in the end decided against it. A sensible option, I think. It's probably important, I think, from Scotland's perspective, Craig, to get as many balls as possible for Gordon Drummond to face.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think he's chosen the right option there. He was expecting the ball full and straight, so he's given himself a little bit of room to try and hit through the offside because there's nobody sweeping at cover. It was just unfortunate he picked out the cover fielder.
Somehow that's missed the off stump. It's a little inside edge, in fact, and it's taken behind the wicket by Mohammad Shahzad. So Hamid Hassan comes on, gets the breakthrough. What a good breakthrough that is from Afghanistan's perspective. Gordon Drummond giving himself a little bit of room, trying to carve the ball away to that vacant cover area. A little feather and a comfortable catch for Mohammad Shahzad. Drummond goes for 21. It's 179 for 8.
Yeah, again the right option given the field setting, but that's a wicket that's come about purely and simply because of the new fielding regulations. You know, in this situation, normally there would be a deep cover. Gordon might have chosen, I'm sure, to play a different shot, but that was the right shot in this situation. Just unfortunately, he got it on the edge of the bat rather than the middle.
Applause for Gordon Drummond. 21 he made. And the 8th man out, the Scotland captain. That means that Safian Sharif is the new batsman coming in, just 21 years of age. This is his 4th one-day international. He's yet to be dismissed, actually, in one-day international cricket thus far. But from his perspective, one would presume now he'd be looking to try and give as much of the strike as he could to the established batsman, Monib Iqbal.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest, because Safi is a player who came out of the under-19 programme a couple of years ago, and he's a player who can hit the ball out of the park. So in terms of which of these two batsmen have the ability to hit, hit the ball for 6, if you like, then actually Safi might be the man. Obviously, more difficult coming in and doing it straight away against a bowler of Hassan's skill, but it might be that Safi actually, takes a few risks here and tries to get a couple in the middle of the bat because he is capable of hitting the ball a long way.
He's a big man, and he's on strike now. Hamid Hassan coming in and bowls a full toss, and again a misfield inside the circle. Mohammad Nabi, the captain, on that occasion, they think about 2, decide against it, but yet again a misfield by Afghanistan. They've been guilty of so many today, I've lost count.
Yeah, there's no doubt they're a talented side, but it is one area of the game that lets them down, and there will be matches, I'm sure, that their fielding costs them.
So, Safian Sharif gets off the mark, first ball, and it gets Monib Iqbal back on strike. Short ball on the back foot. Monib steers it down to third man, picks up a single, and that's the minimum requirement now, isn't it, Craig? Off these remaining 8 deliveries, just got to at least get a run of ball. That's as a minimum requirement, and hopefully a few more.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are there 2 overs left after this? I'm not sure, but I suppose the key requirement is that Scotland use up their 50 overs and make sure they score off as many of the balls remaining as they can.
Full in length again, worked into the onside. Yep, your maths is better than mine, or certainly your ability to read the scoreboard is better than mine anyway. Craig, 2 overs to go after this, and it's still the target, I'm sure, would be 200 if they could get to there. Be some sort of psychological lift.
Yep, I think 200, maybe 15 balls to go, certainly got a chance of doing that, but the last thing they want to do is get bowled out with balls remaining.
Slower ball, comes off the thigh pad, I rather fancy, well stopped down the leg side by Mohammad Shahzad. That's the end of the over, in fact, a successful over for Hamid Hassan. 2 overs to go then, and Hamid Hassan now picking up his 2nd wicket, so he's got 2 for 34. Dawlat Zadran also has 2 wickets, 2 for 38, and the other successful bowler, Gulbuddin Naib, 4 for 30. So with 2 overs to go, 182 for 8, Monib Iqbal on 18, and the man who's just come to the crease pace in that last over, Safyan Sharif. Looking forward to seeing him bowl a little bit later as well, as Craig Wright, former Scotland captain alongside me in the commentary position, mentioned. He can certainly get it through. He's just 21 years of age. I saw him on Monday evening bowl a distinctly rapid opening spell in the 2020 international against Afghanistan on this ground. As Dawlat Zadran starts the 49th over, it's worked away backward of square on the onside, and a single to Safyan. Just give us a little bit of background about him, Craig, because I noticed he was actually born in Huddersfield. How did he come to be in the Scotland programme?
Yeah, born in Huddersfield, but has come through our youth system, played for Scotland at youth level. I think moved to Scotland because of parents' work, if I'm not mistaken. Extremely talented young cricketer, bowls a bowls a heavy ball, bowls real wicket-taking deliveries, and as I say, has real ball striking ability with the bat. He's a strong lad, and he's got real potential. I'm hoping we'll see at least one or two examples of his ball striking ability in the remainder of this innings.
Does he come on the radar of any first-class counties?
Not to my knowledge, no. He's not one of the younger players who I think's had any sort of county contact, but certainly he's got the potential to get to that level.
It's down the leg side. It's flicked the pad. Mohamed Shahzad couldn't get across to field it, and they've come back for two. That's good running, really good running. Signalled as leg buys. Mohamed Hassan got around to the ball at fine leg. The relay throw then to the bowler's end, but that's good desperation stuff by the Scotland batsman.
Yeah, I think every run's absolutely crucial here for Scotland, and good to see the guys hustling there. It was actually a really good stop that from Shahzad, because that could quite easily run away for four leg buys.
It's Mohamed Shahzad. Believe it or not, he's lost about 40% of his body fat in the recent past in terms of skin folds. He's done a lot of work to get himself fit. Down the ground with lots of bottom hand by Moneeb Iqbal. And I say believe it or not because he's always been an ample character. I think that's probably fair to say, but he really is a special talent, and he's been elevated to the vice captaincy now of the Afghanistan side, and he's responded to that. He's decided to get fitter, work on his fitness, work on his strength, and if he combines that with his obvious wonderful ability with the bat and his skills behind the stumps too, he's a crackerjack cricketer, no question about that. It's unlucky for Safyan, because he hit that ball really well. If he'd got it through the bowler, it was four, because mid-off was up in the circle.
And I think one other aspect to his abilities is his ability to get under the opposition's skin. As you say, a really talented cricketer, but he's very much one of those players who isn't shy of a word, and not afraid to get involved in a bit of competition, shall we say, on the field.
Sliced down to third man. That'll be a single, and that's the end of the 49th over. 187 for 8 wickets now, with Safyan Sharif pitching the bowling. He's on 4. Moneeb Iqbal is on 19. So just 6 balls to go. Yes, I'm sure we'll see that a little bit later on with Mohamed Shahzad. He really is such a watchable cricketer, but for some strange reason he does have this ability to wind up the opposition. I remember when he played for the ICC Associate and Affiliate 11 in January last year at the ICC Global Cricket Academy, he wound up Stuart Broad and James Anderson a treat. As Mohamed Hassan starts the last over, it's worked down to fine leg by Safyan Sharif. Picks up a single, it takes him to 5, and the total to 188 for the loss of 8 wickets. Remember, Scotland at one stage were 150 for 7, so this is certainly a recovery of sorts, but they'll be bitterly disappointed, I'm sure. They laid a platform for a much more substantial total than this when they were 133 for 2. That's a great shot, fantastic hit by Moneeb Iqbal, over long on for 6. Wonderful shot. It was a slower ball. He picked it and absolutely clobbered it. Fantastic hit.
Yeah, he watched that really well, because I think it was a slower ball, so kept his shape really, really well, and obviously just continuing the form that that he gained in the T20 when he made a valuable contribution with the bat the other day.
Yeah, that really was a great strike. Long on was in position. He didn't worry about that. 194 for 8. Goes for the big hit on the leg side again. There's a yes, no, excuse me between the two batsmen in the end. All's well that ends well, as Mohamed Shahzad had a shy at the stumps at the bowler's end, and almost ended in tears for Scotland, but in the end, no damage done.
I think that's just another illustration of Monib's confidence. He thinks he's the one who can maximise these last couple of deliveries. Probably a single there, but he thinks he can capitalise the form he's in.
And that's well bowled by Hamid Hassan. A little bit of bluff and double bluff. The batsman giving himself a little bit of room, clearing his front leg, and a wonderful Yorker outside the off stump, and dot ball, which is gold dust at this stage.
Yeah, it was a double bluff because there's still no sweeper on the offside, and I think he's just expected the batsman to just give himself a little bit of room there and thrown it wide where he couldn't reach it. So risky but effective.
Full toss, a high full toss. It was about waist high. No call from the umpire. Came off the splice of the bat to extra cover. 2 balls remaining then, and a single to Monib Iqbal, who's done a good job here. 26 not out, 195 for 8. So Safian Sharif has the responsibility to see if he now can get Scotland up to the 200 mark. That would be their basic requirement, one would have thought. Still no sweeper, as Craig Wright said, on the offside boundary. Fielders outside the circle, third man. And long off, long on, and deep backward square leg, and sure enough, it's blazed through the offside to where that sweeper may well have been. He wasn't there. In fact, that was the last ball of the innings, and it takes Scotland up to 199 for 8. So it means that Afghanistan, to win this match in the Pepsi ICC World Cricket League Championship, require an even 200, 4 runs and over. That's a good finish for Scotland. They were 150 for 7. They finished up 199 for 8. Monib Iqbal, 26 not out, and a nice finish there from Safian Sharif, 9 not out to him. And Craig Wright with us in the commentary position, the former Scotland captain. Craig, who will be the happier of the two sides walking off now?
Well, I think certainly Afghanistan would be the happier, particularly with Scotland having been 2 down for 130. Just going into the power play with Berrington and Machin going strong. So I think for Afghanistan to keep Scotland to under 200 from the position Scotland were in, I think Afghanistan will be very happy. But Scotland did well there, stayed positive despite losing those 5 quick wickets. And sort of subsiding to 149 for 7, managed to stay positive and put on another 50 of the last sort of 8 or 9 overs there without being bowled out. So a little bit of momentum there for Scotland to take from the back end of their innings there into their bowling innings. And then, like I said, I expect the Afghanistans to come hard the way they would normally, despite the fact they're only chasing 200, which gives Scotland half a chance, picking up a couple of early wickets. And if they can do that, then they're in the game.
Yes, it's an intriguing prospect. Afghanistan very much behind the 8 ball in terms of the Pepsi ICC World Cricket League Championship. They are 5th in the table. They're 4 points behind Scotland, so they're desperate for a victory here. And to an extent, they've done the hard work, I guess, in that they've restricted Scotland to 199 for 8. That said, it could have been better for them. They dropped a catch. Richie Berrington was put down when he had scored 40. And there were numerous misfields by Afghanistan as well. They let themselves down a little bit in the field, it's fair to say. But all the same, they've restricted Scotland. Scotland have the runs on the board. The question now is whether Afghanistan can get them in response. So, good performance as far as the Afghan bowlers were concerned, and Gulbuddin Naib in particular, finishing with 4 wickets. Dawlat Zadran and Hamid Hassan, the 2 opening bowlers, 2 wickets apiece, 7 bowlers used in total. And it was a curious innings in the sense that Scotland got away to a flyer, they then lost 2 quick wickets, and then there was a partnership between Matt Machin and Richie Berrington. Just to recap then, Scotland 199 for 8 in their 50 overs, top scores for Scotland. Richie Berrington 51, Matt Machin on one-day international debut, he made 44, 26 not out at the end for Muneeb Iqbal, 23 to Carl Kurtzer at the top of the innings, and Gordon Drummond the captain, a good positive 21 from him, 4 for 30 for Gulbadeen Naib, 2 for 41 for Dowlat Zadran, and 2 for 46 I should say, Hamid Hassan, the two opening bowlers. There's 7 bowlers used in total. So Afghanistan in about 40 minutes time will set out on their pursuit of 200 for victory after Scotland made 199 for 8, and we'll be back when play resumes to bring that to you here in the Pepsi ICC World Cricket League Championship.